Welcome, welcome. There is, please go and share the message. Share, go share and go tag people. And meanwhile, let's read a letter that came in. A letter that came in from yesterday. I think this letter, we should read it to be an encouragement. Shut up, Maya. Tim Novata. Pashimu Tim no. We have listened. If let him know. Okay. Yes, please, you can read.
Hello, DSA. I am really following you. I have been looking for such a man like you who understands the kingdom so well. In Nigeria, we profess believing in God, but we deny the power thereof. For example, keeping sons of God away from politics by messages of respected religious leaders. That is how we find ourselves in a deep mess as a nation. I want to thank you for expository. I want to thank you for expository history makers training that is going on. I am seriously receiving ideas on how our continent can quickly get on board on the act of questioning.
Now, that is why, on the act of questioning, that is why I probably think that we should read. That's why I think that we should read this letter, because the ideas that this guy is getting and we'll read it. Maybe some of you, either at home, on Facebook or YouTube, or here, would like to partner with this guy, or you like to get to know each other, because he wants to do something. Hey, he wants to do something for sure with this art of questioning thing. He wants to start a movement, just like somebody said. So I thought it would be good for you people to partner and agree. What's the goal of Upaverni? So just the yeah. Shivo is that over the lot. Yeah. We have already read this part. Okay.
I finally got a glimpse of revelation of making it a reality show like Project Fame, Nigerian Idol, etc. on our national TV stations. I will be glad.
I don't know what those ones mean. Project Fame, Nigerian Idol, but it's a reality show, I guess. Okay, so those are good ideas this guy is having, to have reality show on questioning. That's a good way. It's even more effective than just teaching it. It will be more practical. Okay.
I will be glad if you educate me on how to make it happen. I think we need you in Nigeria than anybody is thinking. I want to start a serious movement on this as well. I thank you for mentoring me without knowing me in person. I started following you 4 months ago. Regards.
All right, so this is somebody that wants to do something. He said he wants to start a serious movement in Nigeria about this thing. That's why I decided to read this. But this is the kind of thing that I want, that we will do something about what we are hearing. Not just hear these things and then just, get our head swollen and big, but to actually do something about what we are hearing. Okay. So, the pay tema. Battery, right? Babusha battery. Okay, so we are coming back to our topic of the HMT, which is...
I think they're complaining that the mic.
I think it was your mic, right? Okay,
I might have to read it again.
Okay. The art of questioning. The art of questioning is the topic of the HMT, and that is why we are going to, that's what we are going to continue. But today, remember I told you people to sleep and to keep your minds sharp. I hope you did, because right now you will really need it. You will need your brain here this morning, not just your body. And how did the kids do? So we need the letter again. How did the kids do? The girls? Yeah.
Intelligent people.
Well, you see, the things they were talking about is you are going to understand it better by the time I do the teaching today. It's how we can use scientific method to solve Africa's problem, because that's exactly what Elon Musk does. They use Elon Musk, right? So so that is what Elon Musk. I listened myself to, but it was too short because I was wondering why did you finish early? I thought it was till 11:30. Okay, so but the things they were saying and what Elon Musk has done is exactly what we are going to examine. What made him to be able to do that, and how can we do the same thing? Is what we are going to be about today. So you want to read the letter again? Yeah. Okay.
Hello, DSA. I am really following you. I have been looking for such a man like you who understands the kingdom so well. In Nigeria, we profess believing in God, but we deny the power thereof. For example, keeping sons of God away from politics by messages of respected religious leaders. That is how we find ourselves in a deep mess as a nation. I want to thank you for expository history makers training that is going on. I am seriously receiving ideas on how our continent can quickly get on board on the act of questioning.
You see, it's not just listening that matters, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I'm happy for this man because he is not here, but he's in Nigeria, but he's already having ideas of what he's going to do with this.
I finally got a glimpse of revelation of making it a reality show like Project Fame, Nigerian Idol, etc.
I think this is absolutely spectacular, to make it and do this thing through reality show. And the reason I'm reading this letter is to also encourage you to come up with your own projects, ideas, movements, or whatever you want to do to make to do something practical, to make this beneficial to people back at home. And now, so if some of you want to work on it for real, you could actually partner with this kind of guy. Anybody that needs it, I could give you his contact. You could write to each other, and just let me know. And yeah, so if you are interested, we'll tell them to send you the. Okay.
I will be glad if you educate me on how to make it happen. I think we need you in Nigeria than anybody is thinking.
But a lot of people started writing that month now that we need you in Nigeria, we need you in Nigeria. I think the eyes of Nigerians have started opening little by little that they need me there. Before they were thinking, you come here, come and show us what you can do. I think they are getting convinced that this guy might actually be able to, he might know something that we don't know. So Nigerians believe that they know everything. And it's like it's getting to them that, well, maybe we don't know everything after all.
I think we need you in Nigeria than anybody is thinking. I want to start a serious movement on this as well. I thank you for mentoring me without knowing me in person. I started following you 4 months ago. Regards.
The good thing is that at least God will not allow me to go to Nigeria until he knows that you people are really ready. Yeah. And I'm not sure I'm not sure that everybody is ready enough for me to come. If I come now, they will only want to kill me. But when when the desperation gets to its peak, then they will all be saying, come now. Then that is when God will allow me to go. I don't know if you people saw the video about the explosion, about the car.
We've been getting some.
About 50 cars or so were destroyed. 54. Wow. And some people died.
I think so far they said 9.
Oh, yeah. So that's a big tragedy. But I try to read through the comments that people were writing. And predominantly, the comments are saying things like, God is, why, for what? God is so many tragedies that is happening to Nigeria in a week or in a few weeks, very close proximity to each other, that the gods are angry with Nigeria. The gods are angry. And then people are saying, oh, God, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Oh, God. You go and look at the comments. Yeah. Everything we connected to God. Oh God, have mercy. Please pray for Nigeria. Let something happen. Oh God, have mercy. Why now? Something killing just happened. Plateau just happened. Another one just happened, and this one again. Oh, why God? Why? What have we done? What is happening? And that is why this topic that I'm going to do, I'm so happy that I'm going to do this topic right now, because since you people have been trained for this week, this whole week, what is that? What does that say? When things happen in Nigeria like that, and everybody is crying and saying, God, what did we do? What happened? God, I pray that God will have mercy. God. But this is not just because of this. Anything bad happens, I don't know if you people know the tendency that it is always, people are always appealing to God. What kind of problem is that? Why is that a problem? I want to hear you. No, I want you, anybody that want to talk, you have to raise your hand, and I want you to speak so that we'll hear it on the screen. Who want to say it? You have to explain to me, because if you talk to a Nigerian, because normally, and Tokwe will be a witness to me like this, normally because we had, when he came and I told him to keep on writing his questions, he was shocked. Everything he's seeing me doing is always shocked. And when he talks to me, our Nigerians, I'm shocked. So both of us are being shocked. But for example, what I'm saying right now, for him, it is normal that Nigerians are thinking that it is, God, please help, only God. You ask him now, he says, but that's normal now. And it's not only him alone, no, that's the whole Nigeria, I think that's normal. But can you now imagine with the kind of shock that he is experiencing when he's sitting in the car with me or hear him, and I say, that's rubbish. He knows, because we have gone through things that I say, that's rubbish. He will just, how? He now is shocked because he cannot believe where I'm coming from. But now I'm more comfortable to talk to all of you that are here, because you probably understand where I'm coming from. When I now say it is rubbish to be saying, oh God, what happened? What did we do? God, have mercy. Pray for Nigeria. Or something like that. Or saying, oh, the gods are angry. This country is cursed. The gods are already cursed. God has given up on us. This country is finished. All those kind of talk. So why is it wrong? Paul, you wanted to talk? Okay, come. Or you want to talk before she comes? No, go back to the light.
I think it's wrong because instead of trying to find out the reasons that these things are happening, they automatically take the responsibility off them by saying it all depends on God. Instead of thinking, okay, is road safety in Nigeria bad? Is there something wrong with the technology in Nigeria? Is something motivating all these killings? Is there a loophole that is allowing all these terrorists and murderers to run free? Instead of thinking about any of that, instead of asking questions, instead of looking and analyzing and finding solutions, people just think, oh, it all depends on God. People don't want to do anything, so they'll just resign themselves to helplessness because it all depends on God. It all becomes unfaith. It's the paganist worldview.
Beautiful, beautiful. But I would like somebody to explain who attended the class. Why worldview issue? Why is it a worldview issue? Yes, please, Felix.
So it is a worldview issue in the sense that this is the belief system of most people in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is connected to the spiritual realm.
Beautiful. Anything that happens on the earth is always connected to the gods, or to God, or to the spirit realm. Beautiful.
Yeah. So this is why when such tragedy happens, the first point of reference is to the spiritual realm.
To the gods. Yeah. Either gods are angry, or we have seen, or God is, something we have to pray, God have mercy, or pray for something, pray for this. Okay.
Yeah, and as such, that makes the training that we are having now more relevant, in the sense that we are having new perspective on things, and actually the way it is. Yes, we live in the physical world. Most of the things that happens here is something that we need to ask questions about, that we need to find solution for them, and that we should do something to take care of them. Like what?
You know, if I say this kind of thing now, can you imagine me? I come on stage and I normally say things like this. Do you know why people are just attacking me? They are just thinking that I'm antichrist. That's just there is just no way this guy is not an antichrist. But I always say something. It is because of where I'm coming from. I've been trained differently. I know things that most people don't know. So I'm not mad though. Don't try to stone me. Don't be in a hurry. It's just that I know things that you might not be aware of. I just know different things. But normally, even the people right now in the comments, I know we are already in crisis. Because people who are not used to this mindset, or who have not listened to our teaching this whole week, they will be coming and say, what are you saying that, so we cannot pray to God again?
So, as a matter of fact, what is happening today in Nigeria could have been avoided. The roads that we have in Nigeria are not maintained. There is no plan to expand them, considering the increase in population in most of the cities in Nigeria. To fix these roads, for us to use them every day, these are things that not only the leadership should attend to, but every right-thinking Nigerian should be looking at such things as being the reason why most of these tragedies are happening.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anybody wants to add to that?
Yeah, the same thing you're saying. I saw a couple of comments on Facebook yesterday. And people...
So you two noticed?
Yeah. People were saying that, in 1 week, all this is happening. What is going on? What has happened? Something must have gone wrong. Something must have gone wrong. That maybe... God
and these people who are saying this, so they are not pagans, so...
Yeah.
These are our brothers and sisters on our own timeline, on our own friends, so... These are Christians born again, but they don't even know. Now you see the importance of worldview. Now you can understand why I had to start this whole thing with worldview issue. Our people don't even know worldview, what worldview is, what is worldview, who is worldview, what is paganism. It is this worldview teaching will now make people to understand my paganism series and syncretism series, if they connect the two. So go ahead, please.
Yeah, so they started back and forth. So I wrote a comment, and the comment I wrote, I said, look, I've been in Europe for about a decade, and all my years in Europe, I've only seen, physically seen one accident. And the accident was a minor accident that did not involve any life. I said, have we ever thought about it or questioned the fact why these things continue to reoccur? I said, this is not the first time that a tanker has had an accident and there's been a massive fire that took a lot of lives. What did we do about it? I gave an example. I said the Grenfell Tower that got ablaze in London. Immediately that thing happened, the government began to change policies on how high-rise buildings are built.
You see?
What materials?
You see?
They brought people to do a kind of a technical analysis of what were the materials that were used, what is the heat resistance of the material, which contractor actually did that job. And a couple of people's jobs were threatened, were on the line. And not only that, some councils decided to bring down skyscrapers that were within their local their councils, because they felt that if it could happen to one, it could also happen to the others. So they've decided to demolish all the buildings and rebuild it, because it doesn't meet the recent, because it was built
developed.
Yeah, it was built like 40, 50 years ago, but it doesn't meet the current standard of this, so they decided to bring it down. I remember that there have been several cases where tankers had killed this same incident. Now, no policy, no traffic road policy For example, I've been in London now for a couple of years. I've never seen a tanker carry fuel in daylight. Why? Because they only travel at night. And there are specific routes that they must follow. You understand? So so there are specific routes that the tankers must follow. There are policies in place. There are laws for them. Then I was also thinking, all the while I was in Nigeria, I never had the concept of speed limit. Even though it might exist, but nobody was enforcing it. So there was nothing like, oh, a car is traveling, you must not travel above the speed limit. People just drive anyhow, drive on the opposite side of the road. Then you see like a bridge that could only maybe accommodate a certain amount of weight. You see tankers line up from the beginning of the bridge to the end of the bridge, which is even more than the weight of the bridge.
But for example, in this country, that kind of accident cannot even happen.
It can't even happen.
Because tankers that are carrying, they don't even carry, here they carry, explosive things like that, only by train, rail. They don't use, by rail. They don't use road where people, human beings are.
But any tanker or any big truck or whatever, there are specific times they must travel
and different routes
they must travel. So those are rules that people. So I said, okay, after it happened, how many of our politicians actually say, okay, let's sit down, look into this thing. Why did it happen? What can we do to prevent it from happening the next time? But you see, they will just go there, park the cars away. And I said one thing yesterday. I was telling somebody. I said, just watch. After they've cleared the debris of the burnt cars and everything, that is where the story will end. Nobody will even think, let us demolish that bridge, because the structure of that bridge has been compromised. The concrete, there must be cracks in the concrete because of the heat. The metal that has been used to build the bridge will also have been weakened. So maybe a bridge that was supposed to last for 20 years, the lifespan of that bridge has been cut short to 5 years. Then you discover that in 5 years' time, the bridge collapsed and killed another set of people. People say, oh, God, what is happening? You understand? So nobody is thinking forward, no foresight, nobody is planning.
So it is God again, eh?
It's God again.
So you say, all those appealing to God is paganistic. But I have another question to you people. You have given an exhaustive answer. But in the paganistic worldview, there are two reactions to anything that happens. Either what?
They try to appease God.
Appease God, like we are doing now. Oh God, what happened? Appeal to God, appease God, or what?
Accuse evil, accuse men.
Satan or evil men that Satan is using.
The government.
So when what about the judge? What were we doing with the judge something?
We are accusing Buhari.
What are our bishops doing?
Accusing.
Headsmen. What?
They were cursing,
accusing. Paganistic church, paganistic bishops, paganistic country. Oh, those two reactions only. Okay, Shinwe wants to say something. Paganistic society. But I will now show you the alternative, because somebody will now say, so what is the alternative? I will show you the alternative today. And when I was saying yesterday, I showed the video of Bishop cursing. Somebody came online and started challenging me and said that, so if they kill your son or your daughter or your wife, will you be blessing them? And started saying, I have lost my mind. If I have lost my mind, it means Jesus also, you could say, he has lost his mind too. He said, why should you be saying Bishop is wrong by cursing those people? So it's not it's not Bishop that has lost his mind, it's me who has lost his mind. Paganistic. Because this guy that is talking, I will not take issues with him. I will not even argue. I will not even reply. Because he is coming from the place he is. From what he knows. I know something. That is paganistic worldview. And they hinge on two things. Either it is God, when we don't see anybody to blame, it is God. We say, God, oh, have mercy, oh, what happened, oh, what can we do, oh, please, oh. Appeasing God, appealing to God, sacrificing, offering sacrifice, praise sacrifice, prayer sacrifice. Those are all appeasing God. Or, thank God our headsmen to blame. Thank God there is Boko Haram to blame. The second option comes in. We now begin to blame people. That is paganistic. So what do civilized people do? What is Judeo-Christian, what is the Christian answer to tragedies? And that's what we are going to see today.
Okay, maybe I should take it from there. Instead of rendering curses to people, spending much time, I know for you to fast and pray is even more rigorous and energy. Life is so simple, it's just that man has a complicated life. The simple thing we should do, let me start from church because that is where all of us came from. And I just want to give this little advice. Instead of doing all these things, we can in the church, because people come to church every Sunday, they contribute, they bring money. In this same church, the money contributed there, the money given soon can be used to secure the life of the same people that come to church, because they are the same people that are being killed, and they don't know. They say, as a pastor will say, tell them to be praying. The same pastor has securities, because he knows that...
Chinwe, you are going too far. Why they are praying and cursing, have you asked them question? What about the widows that are left? The children, the orphans that are left, the villages that are left, the house that are born. How much help have they said? Have they called for offering?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Have they called for offering?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm coming there. Because they are aware that the life of people is under threat, and that's why they're using security. Why are you using security? Your house is also, you have security, and these ones are the ones out there, vulnerable. They are the ones that are being killed. So if I'm contributing money, when Bible says, where a man's heart is, that's where your treasure is, then my money is there. That's where my security should come from. That's where my protection should come from. You understand? Instead of asking them to pray, they keep praying, things keep happening, and they are still dying, and the prayer is not producing results. Why can't we, as thinking human beings, try to think of how to help? Churches can help. There's enough money in church to help society. We can build this road. Church can build the road. Instead of building school and asking people to come and pay such amount of money for them to still enter the same school, their money contributed in building. So it's a very simple thing that we can do. If church, you want to tell me that you are not practicing
none of those churches will go, they are causing, they will not go and take care of the children that are left, the widows that are left. Some of them are even members. And they will be writing letter. They will say you don't belong to home group, you don't become to cell group.
There's somebody that he's building bonds in February, very close to my husband. And I was asking him, because every day he's in church, every day he's taking, they give him, I don't know whether he's a pastor there, I don't know, but I know that he has a position.
Titles.
I know he has title. He will tell us to watch him, that he's presenting something on the television. And I asked him, have church come to see you? They said they've not even come. They said they gave him a portion of the Bible to pray. I said, that portion of the Bible, is he going to build? Is it what is going to build?
What happened to him?
The whole building, his business burnt down.
Ooh. And the church was giving him scripture.
He said the pastor have not even called him.
And he has been giving tithe.
He said they gave some.
Has he been giving tithe and offering?
Because he's giving tithe and offering, that's why he has a platform to talk in church. So he's
and now tragedy came. Yes. All those tithe and offering cannot come back to help him.
That's exactly what I say. He say help. Okay, they've not even called. They just sent him Psalm 90 to read. I said Psalm 90 is something that's going to help you to build up back your business. So a whole lot of things are happening. It's even better we go out and talk. We don't fear man. We can only respect man. And when you're not respecting yourself, I believe we should talk.
Sad. Okay, yeah.
Anybody?
Yes, Felix wants to say.
So I think our society or our country have come to the stage whereby the saying that says there is a time it will come in the life of a nation or a community whereby after fearing the king, then you have to cover your head with a basket and tell him the truth.
So that time has come.
I think this is the time.
You will talk or you will die. Or what did that lawyer say? You talk or you die. You don't talk or you die.
So let's talk the truth and then die.
I think yes. I think we are getting to that place in that country because we've been too quiet for too long.
Yeah. We've been too quiet.
So now here comes the topic. How do you respond to everything in life? And what will this questioning do to our country? You know, I've told you yesterday the topic of questioning, and we have spoken about going to teach people how to become genius and things like that. But the most important thing you can do with questioning is research. Show them this topic. Building a new Africa through scientific methods. Scientific method is the ultimate answer or result from questioning. Is the ultimate solution to anybody's question. This is the whole essence of questioning. Questioning must lead us to scientific methods. Now, I know there are so many students who are science students, and I know there are so many people who have finished universities and have finished colleges who know these methods. But the problem we have found with our own education is that we only have knowledge. We don't apply them on daily basis. Now, when they kill people in Jos or Plateau or Benue, and everybody is condemning me and saying, why are you not talking? What are they talking? Sensational, sentiments, emotions, just blaming somebody. I am not paganistic. Even right now, they are saying, why have you not spoken yet? Why are you not? Just go and give a speech to say the APC is bad, the president is bad. I cannot reduce myself to that place. It is paganistic to always point accusing finger at somebody. Who is not the issue. It is what that is the issue. Are there sometimes when we'll be able to say, "Ooh, yes"? Will it be necessary sometimes? Yes. But before you say that, you must have other, imperial evidences that will point to that who as undeniable evidences. On what basis you'll be able to now say who is to blame? But the first thing you must pay attention to is what to do. But before you even come to that conclusion of what to do, you must have gone through some process, some processes of examination, analysis, research, before you reach conclusion. Your conclusion must not be based on the emotions you are feeling at the moment. Your conclusion must be based only on the investigation and the facts and the researches you have done. Don't always respond by what you feel. That is emotion. That is what animals do. Animals are the ones who are supposed to live by responses, by reflexes, and by instincts and stimulation. What is stimulation? Something happened. Oh, that is animalistic. They provoked you, and you're shouting and responding. That is animalistic. I have come higher than that. I cannot do that anymore. Is it empirical? What was it? Empirical evidences is what we need. You first of all need to do your due process. You first of all need to do your due diligence. You first of all need to base all your, all your arguments, your speech on some empirical evidences and facts. You don't just respond to things. You don't just talk. You must have tangible evidences on the ground upon which you are basing what you are saying. And I'm thinking, these are people following me. Don't you study what I do? See the way I preach. See the way I even criticize. They are not just coming from emotions. I will bring you the evidence. I will analyze it for you. You will see everything with your own koro. I hear with your ear. These are scientific method, scientific approach to life. And I'm amazed that some of these people are even professors, doctors, people who are supposed to be educated or who are supposed to be in school or higher education or doctor or professors or lecturers. But they don't use the knowledge they read in book and in classes to life. Now, the purpose of this teaching, let's look at the teaching again. Building a new Africa through scientific method. The purpose of this teaching is not for you to know this by scientific method, because you can go to the internet and find it. Or you can go to your school or laboratory and find it. Or your school or your teacher could teach you. But the reason why I'm thinking that this can resolve Africa's problem, and listen closely, is the way I use it. What do I use it to do? I use it on daily basis on everything that I do. I use it in every instances. Every question that arises, every problem that comes out in the country, this must be the approach. This must be used. But scientific method is not just for the laboratory, it's for life. So this scientific method must be applied in your family situation, in your everyday situation. Anything you are doing on daily, before you speak, before you open your mouth, cross-check. Does it pass the scientific method test? All your responses, all your speech, you must first of all, do I have empirical evidences? Do I have the facts? Does it pass everything? Are my hypotheses right? Are my assumptions correct? Do I have the evidences? Have I done the research? Without that, never join Nigerians to be giving speech. Don't become Dino Melaye. Don't become the other one. Is it Brown, what they call him, or some English name? Bruce. Don't become a Bruce. Those are cheap, opportunistic politicians. Those are politicians. Don't copy them. But in my country today, everybody wants to just give speech. They think that is what matters. Oh, you have not responded. So what would he give you? Wale Soyinka. Wale Soyinka is a dramatist, just dramatizing everything. Just to talk. He's a great writer, but when it comes to life situation, just give speech. What does it change? He's not scientific in his responses. Don't become, those are our elite. Those are the people who want to copy. And they will not change anything. They are 80 years old, 70 years old. The country is getting worse under their watch. Because they don't use scientific method to life. This method must be introduced in every area of life. Why is Anu there? This is your work. This is value, the value system of research and evidences before talking, before responding, before being emotional. So I hope you are now ready with that introduction. Are you set? Yeah. Can I start? Yes. So, building a new Africa through scientific methods. Please go and share this message, everybody that is watching. Share, because if you don't share this, you are going to be losing a lot, because you will need to come back to this very many times. And you will need, our whole continent needs this message. Please share, everybody. Go and share the message. Share. Okay, here we go.
Building a new Africa through scientific methods. The scientific method is a process for experimentation that is used to explore observations and answer questions.
So, note that. What is scientific method for? Is to observe what has happened, to research, to observe it, to analyze what has happened. And also to answer any question that might have arisen, that might have come up. So, for example, what will I do when the tank burst and it killed all those people yesterday? Why is it that I've not spoken? Why is it that I'm not writing, oh God, what have we done? How have we annoyed you? You have given up on us. You have caused us. God he didn't cause anything. It's not his problem. So why am I not responding like that? Why do I say it's foolish to be saying, God, oh, have mercy, oh, pray for Nigeria, oh, God has caused us, oh, the gods have turned against us, oh, God are against us, oh, we have done. Because that is paganistic. It is in paganism that you blame the spirit realm for everything. It is in paganism you appeal to God to come and solve the earthly problem all the time. There is still need for prayers, but that is only after you have done everything that you need to do from your side. Or that is besides doing everything you need to do, but not waiting on God, not calling on God to be the answer for what you are supposed to do. You don't tell God to come and do what you are supposed to do, or what he has already told you to do, or what he has already done. But in paganism, everything is related back to God. But when it comes to the affairs of the earth, Bible clearly said the earth he has given to the sons of men. You can ask for God's wisdom. You can ask for God's grace, God's power, God's intervention to help you deal with the situation. Not for God to stop it. Because he cannot stop it. You are the one who didn't build the road. You are the one who went to make, tankers, oil tankers to be traveling on the same road with ordinary commercial cars. You cannot stop it. You as the one called. How can God come and do the policy? How can God come and construct the bridge, a bigger place, or do a new route for the lorries? Why are you blaming God and pointing accusing fingers at my God? Please, thank God that you are not God, though. You better thank your stars that I'm not God. Because you are blaming God for everything, you are making a mess of God. Do you think God is so wicked? Leave God alone. Even Satan make you leave him alone. Even Satan in that situation, I don't even see Satan at all. You see what? I saw somebody who gave the video, and somebody was taking the video, and they were saying, oh, see what is happening, oh, thank God my family is not here. Thank God no relative of mine is here, oh, thank you, Jesus. God, oh, you are faithful. You are faithful.
What about the lives?
These are redeemed members, Mountain of Fire member. Thank God, oh, we winners members, all these people. It is thank God for the mantle. Thank God for the prophet, for the bishop. I didn't travel that road. May God not let us travel the road that will consume us. Or something that we are saying. May God not let us travel the road that will not come back. Those are the kind of things I was hearing. And members of their churches are the ones who lost their lives there.
I just wanted to say that.
And it is somebody's father, somebody's mother, somebody's parents, some your own citizens. And you are thanking God. Thank God, oh, Ọlọ́run wa dúpẹ́ o, ẹ ṣé o, you know. That is paganistic because there is no love in paganism. Paganism is either you or enemy. Other ours or enemy. That is paganism. No neighbor. No love your neighbor in paganism. That's a worldview. And that is what the pastors have propagated to a new level. So, but scientific method is not putting responsibility on God or on Satan. Scientific method is to observe what has happened. Ask yourself questions and help get the right answers and the objective results, objective observations, objective answers as to what has happened. Let's say, for example, they went to kill people in Plateau State. Let me tell you, I didn't want to say this before. Why I have not responded? Because I am not sure. There are many variables. There are many hypotheses. The first hypothesis is that it is the herdsmen that are killing. Second hypothesis is that some people are hiring foreign herdsmen or foreign Hausas to come and do the havoc. Third hypothesis is what our Christians believe. It is Buhari and his government that are killing Nigerians just to Islamize Nigeria. That which is, for me, is a weak point. The fourth hypothesis is that it is the same BDP and opposition parties and politicians who are sponsoring this before the election so that they might be able to, everybody might turn against this government and they might elect the opposition. That is another possibility. So I am not sure yet. And you want me to just come and make a statement and blame somebody? No, I'm not so stupid. I've got to finish my analysis. And that's why I want to tell you people that Nigerians are sentimental. Don't use it. We have to replace sentiment. Sentiment belongs in the world of animals. Sentiment belongs to biomasses. Leave sentiment. Don't just respond by your pain and your emotions. Do your analysis. And the scientific method is the formula that helps you to make sure that you have considered all variables. It is the formula that will help you to know that you are not being biased. It is the formula that will help you to set you free from your own emotions and from your own preferences and from your own biases. This is the formula that will help you set yourself free from your own pain. So you will not be driven by your pain in your conclusions. You will not be driven by your conclusions. You will not be by your biases. You will not be driven by your religious, your own religion or another person's religion or your own political parties. It is an objective, science-based principles that will just put everything into place. So the ability to reason like that is what we need to teach all of Nigeria. Just like I was saying yesterday that we must start a movement to teach everybody that they could become genius. The same way we must start movement to teach our people to relate to life and interpret life through cause and effect. You remember I've always been talking about cause and effect. But cause and effect that is just the principle. But this is the method now. This is the process. Scientific method is the thing that will help you to know how cause works and what effects. This is the method, this is the process, this is the procedure. So we must teach our whole country to reason and function by cause and effect through scientific methods. So that way you can never go wrong. And you know you are always objective because it is based on neutrality and on truth and on facts. So let's read let's read the definition again.
The scientific method is a process for experimentation that is used to explore observations and answer questions.
Tishe. Yes.
Does this mean all scientists follow exactly this process? No. Some areas of science can be more easily tested than others.
Yeah, so so even but what is even more painful to me is that our scientists, even those who know these things, not just in Nigeria but all over the world, they only use them in the laboratories. They only use them to do research but it is for life. So my agenda and my whole purpose of teaching this thing today is for us to be able to bring this thing into everyday life, into everyday living, so that we will teach ordinary human beings not to be animals. Because what is animals? Animals are people who respond by instinct and reflexes. So scientific method will take you away from the realm of animal into the realm of reasoning. And which is what makes you to be human. You only become human when you reason.
For example, scientists studying how stars change as they age or how dinosaurs digested their food cannot fast forward a star's life by a million years or run medical exams on feeding dinosaurs to test their hypothesis.
You understand what? So you cannot, we're just talking about the fact that the scientific method, does it mean that it can be used everywhere or at all time? It cannot, because for example, the dinosaurs are dead. You cannot find their specimens. You cannot find their, to test it. So it might not always work all the time, but at least the principle will be there.
When direct experimentation is not possible, scientists modify the scientific method.
But you have the scientific method at the basis. You can modify it if some conditions are not met and things cannot be found, but at least you have the foundation for truth and for reasoning and for experimentation.
In fact, there are probably as many versions of the scientific method as there are scientists.
Somebody might, put it in different order, but it's still the same main core principle.
But even when modified, the goal remains the same. Number one, to discover cause and effect relationships.
You remember I will always be telling you about cause and effect. This is the method now. This is the process of cause and effect. Cause and effect is just beginning and the end. But the whole process of it, in between, is called scientific method. Okay?
But even
so scientific method will help you to detect and discover the cause, and it will also help you to predict the effect or to explain the effect. Beautiful stuff. These things should be taught in every primary school, secondary school, university level. If until our whole educational system is built on this, we cannot say we are educated. Nobody is educated if he doesn't live by cause and effect and he doesn't see the world through the lenses of cause and effect, questioning and reasoning. That is the basis of education. If you don't know this, it means that the only thing you have done in school is that you have been packed with knowledge. They have just put knowledge in your head and you have given you certificates. You have not been educated because you have not been taught to reason. And you have not been taught to question. And then you cannot look at any situation in life and have a scientific approach and have an objective analysis and be able to interpret life. You are going to be interpreting life through your emotions, through your feelings, through your instincts. And you are going to be paganistic because that's what your society is about. You are going to be thinking, doing the same thing like the whole country is doing, and responding the same way the whole society is responding. You will be doing what the pastors are telling you to do without even critiquing anything. That's why it's easy for these churches and pastors to hypnotize and to brainwash and to enslave such large number of people because people don't think. They don't examine what pastors are saying. They don't critique what pastors are saying. They don't put them through empirical evidences and proofs. They don't research their words. They don't build hypotheses on their statements. They don't apply cause and effect to the words and the theories and the revelations of these pastors. That's why the whole country is a slave to them. Sad, but evil.
But even when modified, the goal remains the same. Number one, to discover cause and effect relationships by asking questions. Number two.
So the scientific method is needed for you to be able to build cause and effect, to be able to know the cause or effect of something or explain the cause or effect of anything in life. That's what we all need. Be able to see anything and be able to put the scientific method on it, understand exactly what is happening. Don't just say, oh, it is Christians they killed now, so I must talk. The fact that it is Christians they killed, that's not enough. Get your facts right. Oh, it is the X-Men that killed them now. Okay, we know that. But what are the facts you have on ground? Where's your research? It's just like when that, the guy who was doing Biafra guy, Nnamdi Kanu came out. I wrote an article. I don't know if you people saw it. 22 pages article I wrote. Four parts. My reflections on Biafra. And I said, I'm surprised why my Biafra, my Igbo intelligence, because I have friends who are intelligentsia, who are, professors and doctors. Why are you not seeing this? Why are you not writing? Why are you not, responding to the... I'm sad that I have to do it like a Yoruba person. But I have to do it because nobody is doing it. So I did a total analysis of Biafra's movement and what will happen and everything, what it will happen. And people are saying, oh, well, even though you are just talking facts, but a lot of people reason. Many people can say, thank you for doing it. And because people can reason, because you have scientific method to be able to predict what will happen to any movement. At the same time, maybe somebody also saw, at another time, it was MMM that came to Nigeria. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. People were just, even pastors were promoting. I have to write 7-part article that I was analyzing that, no, this is what's going to happen. I could do that because I had the facts of all those things. I did my research, scientific. It will not be, I said, it doesn't, they say, oh, it is God. I said, God, though, even let all angels come and so on. Let Alpha and Omega come and it will still fail. Because empirical evidences don't deceive. That is the advantage of applying scientific method to every area of life. You will not fail. They will tell you it's God. But you will soon discover that they are just using the name of God in vain. Okay, like this man now. Yesterday, Bishop Oyedepo. He said before the end of this month, if those people are not destroyed, the headsmen and their sponsors and supporters and people who cover them or hide them, if they don't get destroyed, all of them, before the end of this month, and then the month is ending day after tomorrow.
And people will ask.
You see? So, if you just put scientific method on that statement, he said that if that doesn't happen, then God didn't call him. That's what he said. Yeah. He said, if they don't die, all of them, then God didn't call me. That is very easy to discover that God didn't call the guy. Because that's what he said. Yeah. And somebody will say, I don't say that. The bishop will don't say that. Why shouldn't I say that? He said it.
He said it himself. Should be preparing our open letter.
So why should you say I shouldn't say that? I didn't say it. He brought it out.
He brought it out himself. He says that a lot.
But our people is sensation, it's a sentiment, it's emotion. No, it's a bishop. Maybe. No, leave him. We don't know why he said it. It is his own problem. It's not. We don't interpret life by facts. Okay. So we use scientific method to discover cause and effect. Next.
Number 2, carefully gathering and examining the evidence.
That is another thing that scientific method will help you do. You will not be emotional or sensational. You will need to be careful in gathering and examining evidence. Scientific method is only evidence-based. So it will not allow you to be animalistic. Just being driven by sentiment and instinct. Because you need a base for your reaction. The only kind of response you could give is to say, condolence message to people who suffered. And that this thing happened, that you regret and you condemn the killings. That's the only thing you can say, but that is political. That doesn't bring solution. But this will help you to bring solution. Okay.
Number 3, seeing if all the available information can be combined into a logical answer.
You see, scientific method always presents only logical solutions. logical answers. The answer has to be logical. What does that mean? Explainable. And it has to be clear for everybody to fathom, to understand, to grasp.
Even though we show the scientific method as a series of steps, keep in mind that new information or thinking might cause a person to back up and repeat steps at any point during the process.
Okay, we are talking about that the scientific method is a series of steps. Let me show you that series of steps. We will be seeing them a lot. Can you see this? This is a series of steps here. Either you can take the picture if you want, if you have photograph, if you have a camera, or you can go to the internet and look for it. You can find it in the internet or take the photograph. So what are the steps to scientific method? Okay, let me show you here. The steps are very easy. Number one step is ask a question. That is, problem has arisen. You need to ask a question. What is the question you want to resolve? What is the answer you want? So you must ask a question. So on the basis and on the everything must start with a question. Then you do research or background research, as it's called. So the background research means what preceded that situation to have occurred in the first place. What led to that? Or what are the circumstances and situations that has existed before that thing occurred? You understand? That is called background research. So you don't move forward without doing background research. And you don't reach conclusion without doing background research. You don't give a speech without doing the background research. You don't let sentiment overtake you before you do the background research. You don't respond by instinct and reflexes to anything that happens without you having completed your background research. You don't allow yourself to be provoked with you doing your background research. So all those people who are pushing me to say something, I'm not foolish. I cannot. After you have completed your background research, you go and construct a hypothesis. Or what do you call them? Hypothesis. You go and conduct an hypothesis. You reach an hypothesis. So what is an hypothesis? An hypothesis is the same thing you call assumption. But the difference between hypothesis and assumption is that assumptions cannot be verified and tested. But hypothesis can be scientifically verified and tested. I don't know if you know the difference, if you get it. Assumption is something you just came up in your mind. But hypothesis is based on some information, some instructions, some information, some facts. And then they could be verified as well. That is why hypothesis is scientific. And assumption is subjective. So you understand what ask question means? That is step one in scientific method. You have to answer me. Does everyone understand what asking a question means?
Yes, sir.
That is the beginning of anything you want in life. Everything in life starts with questioning. That's why questioning is the most important thing in life. When I told you the first day that when you go to ask anybody in the street of London or Nigeria or Ukraine, what are the most important things in life? They will tell you children, wife, husband, family, money, health, all things like that. But they are all wrong. Because the most important thing in life is, one of the two most important things in life is asking questions. Asking questions is more important than children. Having children. Asking questions is more important than having wife. Asking children is more important than family. Asking questions is more important than eating. Asking questions is more important than money. Asking questions is more important than wealth. Asking questions is more important than even faith in God. You remember we said that before. Because everything must start with question in life. If you don't ask questions before you ate that food, you are going to poison yourself. Because you might be thinking that it is food that is there, but you don't know that it is not food. It is food for dogs and for mouse, and you kill yourself. Because then you could say, asking question is more important than having a wife, because you don't know what a woman is, what a woman needs, what is their desire, what is the difference between a man and a woman. You put yourself in trouble, headache all life. Asking question is more important than having children, because though having children is the act of an animal. You just sleep together, dogs sleep together and have children, cats sleep together and have children, pigs sleep together and have children. That is animalistic functions. But a man shouldn't just sleep together and have children. A man should first of all ask questions. Why do I have to have those children? Am I ready for them? What do I want to give them? What is my vision for their life? What would they become? What? Oh. Asking questions, therefore, is more important than faith in God. Because if you don't ask questions before you believe in God, you believe in Buddhism, you believe in paganism, you believe in Islam, you become a terrorist without even you knowing. There are people who are terrorists. There are people who are, why? Because they believe in God. You think they are the terrorists, they are becoming terrorists because they don't believe in God? No, it's the opposite. It's because they believe in God. Before they believe in God, they were not terrorists. It is because they believe in God that they became terrorists. Why? They didn't ask questions that if this is God, how can God be asking me to go and kill somebody? Because they didn't ask questions. So everything, so when they ask you next time, what are the most important things in life? I'm going to write a book soon that's going to be called The Most Important Things in Life. There are 5 of them. But I'm not going to go into that today. The most important things in life, 5 of them, and none of them is a child. 5 of them, none of them is a woman, is a wife. 5 of them, none of them is family. 5 of them, none of them is a believing in God. 5 of them, none of them is money. And those are the most important things in life. Ask a question, number 1. Number 2, do background research. You understand that already too. Number 3, construct a hypothesis. Then after the hypothesis, and that's the difference between the hypothesis and assumption, then the next step. Because with assumption, you can never have the next step. But with hypothesis, you can have the next step. So what is the next step? The next step is to test the hypothesis with an experiment. Test the hypothesis with an experiment. Then after the experiment, then you do the procedure working. But you ask yourself, is the procedure working? Is what I've done so far working? You will still have to answer even if it's not working. You have to say no. You need to write the result down. If it's working, you say yes. That is still part of the experiment and the steps. Then after that, if either it is working or not, you still need to analyze the data, why it's not working, and draw a conclusion why it's not working. Or if it's working, you still need to analyze the data and draw a conclusion why it worked. Then, after that, the next thing you communicate the results. But in between that, you could align that means if it works, for example, it means that your results, they must be in line together with your experiment. With your hypothesis. Working means that you have confirmed that your hypothesis is right. That means it's working. Not working means that your hypothesis differs from the result you got. That is not working. So you remember this, or I think everybody must have this photograph. If you want, you can come and photograph it, or you can find it in the internet. And yeah, scientific method, that image. Steps to scientific method, images or photograph, photo. They might be diagram. They might be different. They might be in different forms, but it will still the same core. Yeah. Whew. So let's go back to where we were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though we show the scientific method as a series of steps, keep in mind.
So now you know what we mean by series of steps.
Yep.
Right? That's what I just showed you. Okay?
Keep in mind that new information or thinking might cause a person to back up and repeat steps at any point during the process.
Now, the repetition of steps, that is what you now have here. You see those things that are on the, everything is straight, vertical. But you see yellow on the right and yellow on the left. Those are the things you need to do in case you need to repeat. But those are not the basic, they are not the basic steps. The basic steps are the vertical thing, straight line. Anything that you see beside, they are not the basic steps. For example, these are just in case. It's not basic step, it's not basic step. These are not, these are just explanation. These are just answers. But the whole basic step is just straight line like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But mainly there are 7 because this yes or no is, yes or no is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are just explanation. These are just answers. These are just in case. Okay. Right. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I'll read again.
Yes.
Even though we show the scientific method as a series of steps, keep in mind that new information or thinking might cause a person to back up and repeat steps at any point during the process.
You say our governance, the governance of Nigeria, for example, African countries, they are not based on scientific methods. So that's why nothing is predictable. That's why nothing is stable. That's why there is no maintenance culture. That's why there is no informed steps. But go to Germany, for example, everything is predictable. No chaos. Because everything is based on scientific methods. Developed countries, all these countries in Europe, is the same. But in Africa, it's just emotions, just instincts, just sentiments. Then nothing is predictable. Everything is chaotic.
A process like the scientific method that involves such backing up and repeating is called an iterative process.
But that doesn't matter. You don't need to bother yourself like that. But just in case.
Understanding the steps of the scientific method will help you focus your question.
Always pay attention to steps. Because you cannot jump any of the steps. That's why they are called steps. So those things you see vertical that are on each other, they are called steps. One step has to come before the other. Another one cannot be jumped or missed or something. Okay?
Understanding the steps of the scientific method will help you focus your question and walk through your observation and data to answer the question as well as possible.
So this method will help you to not to go away from your question. Sometimes we can start by asking one question, then later on we get distracted, you started doing something and you just go into it. But because of the steps, you will always come back. You will never get lost. You will never get too emotional and too distracted on one, because the steps are predictable. You are always going to come back. So that's why the steps are necessary. They help you to focus so that you'll be able to go from A to Z, from beginning to the end with your experiment. You will not stop in the middle. You will not. Like, for example, in Nigeria, there are a lot of projects that people start to, they call them abandoned projects. Because they don't use scientific method to do those things. And what does that mean? Scientific method means that before you even begin to build, before you even, you have having backup plans, because of the scientific method, everything is already solved in paper. You already know nothing, the money, the finances, everything is already secured ahead of time. You don't do things on assumptions that, I hope, I am waiting for this, I am thinking. Scientific method will cut off those things. So scientific method will give you solidity, focus, assurance. You cannot go wrong. That's the good thing about scientific method.
Steps of the scientific method.
So we are going to now examine in details what I tried to explain to you by myself now. That was just in a hurry, but now we are going to examine them one by one in details. Okay? Okay, before we go into this, because this is going to be elaborate, are you okay? Yeah. Do you need to stand up and walk or refresh yourself?
5 minutes.
Huh? 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay, because this is going to be elaborate. Let's take 5 minutes break and we'll come back a bit later.